What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mike Dub 27 Day Trading, and today we're just gonna look at our weeks, basically our week stocks. We're gonna see what's going on this week, see how everything is looking. Got me a couple of longs that I'm doing now. Finally got with the whole Schwab thing because of the dividends. I got me a couple shares of Big Bear because we know that that's going to grow as AI grows. So I'm sticking with that. Let's go down to the Lucid. Lucid is at 294. It actually made it down to 287. If I'm looking at what it did this week, I think if you go back to the 21st, we did 281. Of course, went back up to 313. And this is what I want everybody to take a look at. You see how it went to 281? And then after that, it went to 320. That's been the trend. So of course, it was back down at 287, and it's already kind of headed up. So tomorrow, Monday, I'll be waiting for that dip. If it continues to go, because you can't really get into the stocks until it starts in the morning when the market opens. If it continues to go up, I won't do anything with it. But if this drops back down to around 281, 280, something like that, then I'm definitely going to take another position just because, according to the trend, it's continuing its way right back up. So you're talking about 20 to 30 cent right there. 20 cent average. This right here is a big hike, but 20 cent average. Now it's a slow one. It's not one of those where it's going to drop and then all of a sudden it's going to go right back up. This is one of those where you put your money in when it drops down to about 280, and then you go ahead and you set your limit, your sell limit, and you set that for about 310, 315, something like that, and then you forget about it. And then once it finally hits it, it'll go ahead and sell, and that'll just be money in your bank. We look down right here. You got that's just a Q2 25. That isn't coming up, I think, until August. Let me go down here and see. 69%, 68%. I was 70. So, it's starting to change. Right here, estimated 0.22 per share, August the 5th. So we got a while before we get the next earnings report, earnings call. I expect for it to probably, and this is just going off of the trend that I've been seeing with these stocks. They're obviously going to probably do better than they did the last time around just because of the last earnings. It was low, even though they did better. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be 0.24 negative, but it was like 0.23 or something like that. So now it's at 0.22 negative. It'll probably be at like negative 0.20 or something like that. It's going to dip. It's going to dip. That's what I'm noticing with all of these. So what I'm going to wait for, as far as when earnings, the day of the earnings is probably everybody's going to sell. It's going to sell like crazy to the point it probably makes sense to get in like right at around 355, on the day of the earnings call. When it dips to the lowest, it's probably going to hit like 270 or something like that. And then that's when I'm going to get in because it's going to pass earnings. It's going to do what it needs to do. And after that, I think it's going to jump. It's going to jump. I mean, you're talking about market caps already went up $1 billion right there. So we already know that it's going to do better than they thought because the market cap went up a billion. Price to earnings ratio, this is probably going to go down a little bit. High today, 301, 52-week high, 443. But that's how I'm pretty much going to play it. Of course, this isn't financial advice, so do with it what you will. But that's definitely the direction I'm going with it. Let me see. There's no new news since the 23rd. which is basically just wondering if Lucid can hit $7. And that's the goal for the most part, seeing if it'll hit $7. But like I said, as of right now, just get the guaranteed money. Not the guarantee because nothing's a guarantee, but follow the trend. Low 280s, I'm jumping in. 315, something like that, getting out. And just gonna keep working it like that. And then we'll go ahead and take it like that. Now, some other things that I've been looking at. I don't know how I got to crypto. Here we go. Now, these are some small accounts that I've been looking at. Uh, don't pay attention to that. Let's look at Health Triangle. Health Triangle's been jumped up. That was at 0.04. I got out early with that, but that thing jumped all the way to like 0.09 and then went back down to 0.06 right there. This is one of those. If you catch it when it's low, when it's at that 0.04, then by all means. You can see what it's been doing right there, 0.02, the 0.06. This is one of those you want to catch it when it's as low as possible if you're going to do anything with it. You got to catch it as low as possible. Do not jump in at just 0.04. Like this is one of those where, all right, we're seeing where it's at 0.06, 0.06. Once it hit 0.04, if you do get in at 0.04, it needs to be 0.04, probably 00, and then maybe. But you want a stock like that to get as low as possible before you jump in. Just because it's a penny stock, it's a Chinese company, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's in California, but still it's a penny stock, and you do not know what it may do. Let me see, when did I get in? I got in when it was at 0.03, and I got out when it was at 0.04. It's no new news. You really got to look up the news for something like this because it's such a small company. Of course, it's just a biotech company. The value 2.13 billion, which is ridiculous. But that lets you know that this thing can drop at a moment's notice. So this is one of those you got to be real careful with. You got to wait until this thing drops down before you do anything with it. And you can make a nice little chunk of money with it. Another one, Wang Li Group. This is, I think, the Chinese stock. Yeah, Hong Kong. This is one of those. It jumped up. I was in it. Was that 09? I want to say I was in it at 0.07. And then once it hit let's say between 11, around here, that's when I sold. But this is one of those. It was just at 05, and it can easily go back. So this is another one. You see, it's already on its trend down. There's one of those you wait until it drops. You do not get in thinking, oh, it's about to go to 11 cents. No, you get in when this thing drops back down to where it was at. You want this thing at like 06, 05, then you jump in. And it's gonna do it because when people sell these type of stocks, they drop tremendously. So this is one of those. If it's 7 o'clock in the morning and you see it and it's at 0.09, just wait. You're gonna put your money in thinking that's the low without checking how low it actually has been. And then that 0.09 is gonna quickly go to 0.07. Or that 0.07 is gonna quickly go to 0.05. So that's one of those you probably want to wait until 9:30 to see what it's gonna do. And at 9:30, they'll probably start dropping and dropping. Probably 9:45, 9:50. That's when you probably want to do something with it. Maybe even 10 o'clock. But yeah, the market cap 2.96 million. It's a cheap stock. That should let you know what you're dealing with right there. Market cap 2.96 million. volume 166.48 million. You know, that's the average. Regular volume 122 million. So that should let you know what you're dealing with right there. Let me see what else I got going on here. Some semiconductor, Ethereum. Oh, I got a new crypto. That's somewhere. We're not gonna look at that right now. And then of course, good old Poster. I keep going back to Poster because it's been doing the same thing. You can check a couple, 3 or 4 videos back. Every time we go to Poster, the bottom is $1.09, $1.08, $1.07. Okay, so right now it's at $1.09. The high 112. Do the math. 109, 112. 109, 112. Is doing the same thing. Now, this is one of those, it's not going anywhere. Poster's not going anywhere. The company is what it is. That's the low, that's the high. So let's do the math, and let's say you went with $5,000. So let's pull out the calculator. All right. 5,000 divided by 1.09. It's 4,587 shares. So let's say it goes up 3 cents. So that's times 0.03. It's $137. That's what you're dealing with. You need 5,000 to make $137 a day. And that's pretty much what has to happen with that. This is one of those where if you go with $500, or let's say 300, you going with $300 divided by 1.09, and then you multiply that by 0.03. You're only making $8, so you actually got to go on with a lot. But that's pretty much it. And yeah, so don't forget to like, don't forget to follow. This is Mike Dub 27 Day Trading, and I'm out.